Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. If you don't already have it, you should have a bolster, and if you'd like a blanket in your practice, that's just kind of a nice to have. We're gonna get started in a seated position. So grab your bolster on your way up, and we're just gonna bring the feet a little wide. They don't have to be very wide, really just enough room to place your bolster in between your legs. And I like to place the bolster with this little strap down because we're going to place our forehead on it, and I don't like the imprint on my head. We'll be here for a couple minutes to start out. And you're just going to literally place your forehead on the edge of that bolster. So your bolster's at a nice angle. You might have to adjust it a little bit so that it feels sturdy for you. If you had a block, you could put a block in front of it, but you absolutely don't need that. And then your hands might be holding the bolster here. See if you can let the hands drop down to your legs or down to the sides, and just let yourself land here. This will be our first shape, and probably one of my favorite shapes in a restorative practice. Really to just let everything kind of fall by the wayside. And just like any other yoga class, allow yourself to just step onto your mat. It's a little more active shape since we are seated and our upper body's lifted. But I want you to see if you can really just let that head melt into your bolster, into that support. And again, we'll just start here. Allowing our head to rest and be supported by your prop. In this class, we really don't control our breath, say like a vinyasa practice. So just maybe start to notice the gentle rising and falling of your breath. Not trying to change it, not trying to adjust it or shift it or make it deeper. Just starting to bring some gentle awareness to it. And in this shape, I like to use this shape, especially at the start of a restorative practice, because it's nice to just kind of let any thoughts sink out of your head and into that bolster. Whether that be thoughts about what happened last week or what's going to happen in the week ahead. Just seeing if you can envision those thoughts literally sinking from your third eye into that support, so that you no longer have to carry those thoughts. You no longer really have any attachment to them because you are here. Even though this is a slower class and you will be holding shapes anywhere from, 8 to upwards of 20 minutes. Seeing if you can still be present. Not drifting away. Just being ever so gently aware of your physical body here. And again, maybe even ever so gently aware of that breath. And even here, as the body is upright, I want you to see if you can just relax. Maybe that's through the shoulders or through the arms. Maybe that's through the legs. Or again, maybe even through the head as you let it rest. In fact, if there's anything in your life right now that's not serving you, maybe you let that drip from your third eye and into your bolster and away from your thoughts. And as if to signal a change is about to come, go ahead and take a big breath in. Stay there, let that release. And probably my favorite part of this shape, bring those hands back to either side of your bolster and ever so gently lift the head up. You might feel this lightness wash over you. We're going to move that bolster to the back of our mats, and it's going to be parallel with the back of the mat here. And if you'd like your blanket to support you in any other way, maybe under the legs or to cover you, you're more than welcome to bring it with you. We are going to turn the hips towards center, let the feet elongate towards the bottom of your mat, and we're going to bring this bolster just underneath the spine. But I want your shoulders to fall off of the top of the bolster. And I want your head to rest either onto the earth, or again, if you felt like your head might need a little extra support, maybe your blanket or a block comes underneath your head. And you let those arms be wide, maybe in a T shape or even cactus arms. Just stay here in our our second shape of the class. And a nice, gentle heart opener. In our restorative practice, we're not chasing any sensation or aiming for a stretch. Really, our aim is to be easeful and ultimately supported by our props. Any of you ever felt like the bolster was too much and the heart opener felt like it was a little too expansive? You're more than welcome to switch that out for a blanket. And if you're okay here, maybe start to tune in to your heart center. And maybe that's just noticing your breath gently rise and fall from your chest. Most people, when they think about heart openers or even the heart in general, we tend to think about the front space of our heart. Which yogis say is really where we give our love. But today I want you to maybe think about the heart in a different capacity. Maybe this time we think about the heart from the backside. Yogis say that this is where we actually receive love. I invite you today to stay in that space, not of giving to others or things or work or whatever it might be, but to receiving what you need. This sense of nourishment. The sense of calming. Even this sense of ease. I invite you in this class to stay in that space. Maybe even relish in knowing that you deserve to receive it all. From here, taking one last full inhale, ever so gently letting that release. not already, go ahead and place a bend through either knee, planting each foot onto the mat. We're going to keep the bolster where it is, and we're just going to roll off to our left side. So slow as you need, as easily as you can. We're going to stay on our side. So if you'd like to press your way to the center of that bolster, find your way there. Again, if you'd like to adjust the support for your head, if your head to the mat didn't feel right, please do. Maybe a blanket, maybe a block. And those knees stay bent as you come onto that left side. Your right hand can stay on that bolster. It can come onto the right hip. If you wanted, it could also wrap behind the back. Find a place that feels appropriate for that right hand. Could also just be reaching in front of you. And here we come into a gentle touch for our side body. Even here, giving yourself permission to be supported. Many of us go through life supporting others, whether that be children, parents, family members, friends, work. And sometimes, it's easy to give and give and give and support others. And it's not so easy to do that for ourselves. If that's you, I invite you to feel supported. To feel comforted. To know that you deserve as much as you give. Give yourself that permission. Permission to be supported by the earth underneath you. Maybe even permission to be held by your props. Maybe even enveloped by these pockets of silence. Gently taking one last deep inhale. Stay there as you let that release. And again, as if you're moving through honey, ever so gently bring that right hand to your bolster or just in front of you. We're going to ever so gently lift our upper bodies up, just so that we can lift up to switch sides. Making your way through center with the hips and dropping those knees over towards the right. Once you're ready, lay that side body onto your bolster. Extend that right arm out. If you'd like an adjustment or pillow for your head, find that prop. And then the left hand, you find a place that feels best. Either on that bolster or pillow, maybe even on the hip or behind the back. Doesn't have to be what it was on the opposite side. In fact, I encourage you to find anything that feels calming, restful. We just easily drop into the opposite side. Again, coming back to that support. Our breath easeful and gentle. Always knowing that if you ever need to shift or adjust, I invite you to find what feels best. As we get deeper into this class, you might start to notice yourself drifting. Which is absolutely okay. But if you find yourself drifting maybe a little too far towards sleep, maybe just bring the gentle awareness back to right here on your mat, supporting yourself, nourishing, calming. Really doing what our body knows innately how to do. Bringing ourselves back to homeostasis. back to our home base. Taking one more full breath in, staying there to let that go. Ever so gently plant the right hand either onto your bolster or to the earth, left hand. And just gently lift the upper body up, We're going to make our way to a tabletop facing the back of your mat. And I want you to move that bolster down towards your knees. Not going to be quite touching your knees. We're going to lower our hips to that bolster. Lower the elbow, one elbow at a time. Maybe let the elbows splay out wide and creating a pillow with your hands coming on to your bellies. You could also use your blanket for your head if you'd like. For a nice supported pelvis. Allowing your belly to be soft. Allowing your hips to be heavy. Unless you're a belly sleeper, most of us don't tend to rest here very often. So again, I invite you to indulge in the nourishment of the front of your body against the earth. as if to say goodbye to this shape. Go ahead and fill up your lungs. Exhale that out. Ever so gently bring one hand underneath each shoulder and press your way up to tabletop position again. Just go ahead and shift your way back to a child's pose, maybe allowing that forehead to rest down onto that bolster, letting the arms maybe reach forward or they can reach down by the sides. We'll just be here for a couple moments. Noticing even the head completely supported. As you really fold into yourself. Knowing that we nourished both the front side of our hearts, the place where we give, but we especially notice the back side of our heart, where it's said that we receive. Even the sides that we touched. Gently encompassing all 360 degrees of our heart. On this next breath, see if you can fill up to the space of the heart. Inhale. Exhale, let that go. Gently make your way back to a tabletop position. Scoot that bolster off to the side. Actually, scoot it off to the side and then scoot the legs off to the side so that you can make your way onto your hips and eventually make your way onto your back. We're going to slide that bolster underneath our knees. And again, if you'd like any blanket or any extra props, feel free to grab those as you just start to lower the upper body down. Let the hands either be wide or one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. As we just make our way into our final shape. A nice supported Shavasana. Maybe again, just noticing that space of the heart. Maybe coming back to the notion that I deserve to receive as much, if not more, than I give. And ultimately, the only way that my heart can be completely full is if I do support myself. I can only give as much as I have my cup full. In this last shape, we just complete our transition to our parasympathetic nervous system, where our bodies are able to rest and digest. Together, let's take one last huge breath in through the nose. Maybe let it go out the mouth. If you did want that cool towel, you do have one to the right side of your mat. We will say that is the official end of our 60 minutes together. Take your time coming up. There's no rush. And as always, I'll just bring my hands to my heart and say thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for sharing your energy. Thank you for allowing yourselves to be supported in this practice. Namaste.